Welcome to the life you crave. Simple and sustainable weight loss for women who have better things to do than diet. I'm your host, Leah Pinelli. I help ambitious, badass women stop overeating, overworking, and overgiving to lose weight from a place of love. I'll help you simplify weight loss, end your overwhelm, and create the life you crave. If you like what you hear, please like and subscribe to this podcast. Let's get started.
Hey, do you have a sugar habit that you would absolutely love to break? If you are like, I don't know, most of the population, then you probably do. And I have something special just for you. It is a free masterclass coming up on April 4th, 2024. It is called Breaking Up But Staying Friends with Sugar. And this is one of my most popular masterclasses, you guys. It is online, it is virtual, and it works. I'm going to teach you exactly how to break up with sugar, meaning really break the habit with sugar without having to give up sugar for the rest of your life. So if that sounds intriguing to you, head over to leahpinelli.com/masterclass. That is LIAPINELLI.com/masterclass and sign up, register for free. I'll see you there. Hey, Life You Crave community. Happy Monday. This is February 12th, Valentine's Day week. Valentine's Day is Wednesday. And I know that people have a lot of feelings on Valentine's Day, right? Look at my glasses on here. I know people have a lot of feelings on Valentine's Day, right? They might be good feelings, they might be not so good feelings. And today I want to share with you a new practice, a new way of being with yourself this Valentine's Day. So the concept today of radical self-love is inspired by my fempire. So I have a group of women who are the fempire. These are my clients who are really, truly committed to working the level up transformational system to completely and radically change their bodies, their businesses, and their lives. And I take them through a 12-month program with me where we focus on working that level up transformation system, but also we have themes together each month. And our theme this month is self-love, which, full transparency, they were all groaning when I told them that we were going to work on self-love this month. But the thing is we're not just working on it because it's Valentine's Day. We're also working on self-love because when you love yourself, you live better. You eat better. You move better. You have more fun in your life. You have more intimacy in your life, either with yourself or with a partner or partners, plural, right? Every single aspect of your life is better when you truly, truly, deeply love yourself. And not only is everything better if you truly, deeply love yourself, but think about it. Like, you're stuck with yourself for the rest of your life. Like, wouldn't you want to kind of enjoy the ride? So a huge misconception that people often have when it comes to radical self-love or self-love in general is that, well, if I love myself, then I will lose my motivation to change myself. And what I want to just point out here, and this is a really important point, is that loving yourself does not mean that you don't still have growth that you would like to make in terms of your body, your business, your life, right? Like, it doesn't mean that you don't still want to make changes. One of the examples that I use with my clients all the time is I'm from San Francisco. I love the city of San Francisco. Absolutely love the city of San Francisco. I can love the city of San Francisco and also want to move to Hawaii, right? I can love the idea of changing my environment by moving to Hawaii, but still love San Francisco, right? So we don't have to hate ourselves or the bodies that we're in particular in order to be inspired to change our behaviors and thereby create a different result for ourselves. So I first and foremost want to say that if you're hesitant at all about loving yourself, please rest assured that things will only get better for you in every aspect when you really, really love yourself. Now, the concept of self-love is a big, huge concept. I don't want to pretend like I try to keep these lives on the shorter side. I don't want to pretend like we can cover the whole thing. But the book that I'm actually going to be referencing today is, if you haven't read it, Run, Don't Walk. It's called The Body Is Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor. This is a classic. And there's so much good stuff in here. I highly recommend that everyone, regardless of your gender identity, reads it. I am going to actually pull a couple of prompts from her work today. But I wanted to make sure that you know that that's an available resource to you as well. I have another book that I recommend sometimes to clients called Being in Your Body. And this is actually a journal for self-love and body positivity. And this is another, it's a really beautiful one, actually. And it's got a lot of really great prompts. So each body has a different bandwidth, a different purpose, a different capability. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Okay, I won't get too much into this. Other people's opinions don't determine your worth. But it is a journal, so there's journaling space and things like that in there. But those are a couple of really good ones for those of you who would like to go deeper. And I'll make sure that I add those titles in the comments here so that you can find them easily, or maybe I'll link to Amazon. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get any kickbacks for making those recommendations. But we can't really talk about self-love in an environment like this one, the Life You Crave community, without talking about shame first and foremost. So I want to share with you, I want to ask you, actually, this first prompt in here by Sonia Renee Taylor. It's actually her Unapologetic Inquiry number 8, if you have this book and you're following along. But the question that she asks readers to think about is, what is your earliest memory of body shame? And how is it similar to or different from the other stories shared in the book? So what is your first memory of body shame? And I'm actually going to have my assistant, Danny, who's also in this group and amazing, she's going to post that as a prompt in a separate post so that you can actually answer that question here in the community. And I know that might feel a little bit vulnerable, but you guys, it's so powerful when we start to share. Why? Because shame equals hiding. And the more that we hide in shame, the worse the shame gets. And actually then the worse our behaviors get around shame, because shame means that we're often going to do things to soothe this shame, maybe such as overeating or over drinking or overspending or over shopping or over sexing, whatever it is, over Facebooking. So when you bring shame out into the light, Brene Brown obviously is the authority on this, but when you bring shame out into the light, it has such a transformative power that shame no longer has hold of you. And when you're in a community like this one, where you see other women sharing their shame stories, it can be really powerful for everyone. So I'll share with you my first memory of shame had to do with my legs. So I've always carried most of my weight in my lower half of my body, particularly like my hips and my legs. And I was very self-conscious because I recognized that my legs were much bigger than other girls' legs. But I remember the first time I felt shame around that, I was actually playing with these two little twins, these little boys. They were younger than me by quite a few years. I would kind of babysit them, but I was only, 7 or 8. But so I wasn't really babysitting. But I remember they were so sweet and innocent. But I remember one of them looking at me and saying, "You have big legs." And the truth of the matter is I recognize now that I must have already had shame around that, because I remember it feeling confirming, like, oh my gosh, if this sweet little boy says that I have big legs, then I must really have big legs. And now there are many, many stories that I have after that. But that was my first memory of really recognizing, I want to cover this. I don't want people to notice that I have big legs. So that was my shame story. So I encourage you to post yours in the thread that Danny puts out for us there. I also, though, want to challenge you. So I called this the Radical Self-Love Challenge for a reason. I want to challenge you, and I'm going to do this too. In fact, I better highlight it right now on my sheet, or else I'm going to forget that I said I would do this. I want you to post not the part of your body that you feel or have felt in the past shame about. I want you to bring that into the light here in this group, but I want you to post one part of your body that you really like, or maybe even love. So that could be a picture of your hair. That could be a picture of your hands. That could be a picture of, for me, I like my shoulders. So maybe a picture of my shoulders, right? Your feet, your toes. It doesn't matter what it is. We do want to maybe know, let's not include any genitalia, please. Even if you like it, you could tell us you liked it, but maybe no photos of that. I think that's definitely banned on Facebook. But you get the idea. Post your legs, right? Your knees, your nail beds. Like, it doesn't matter. Your ear. Just post one part of your body that you're actually like, I do love this part of my body, or at least I like this part of my body. So that's the second challenge, right? First challenge is to share your first shame story. The second challenge is to share a part of your physical body that you actually really like. The next question I have for you, the next prompt that I have for you that will also, well, maybe we won't put this as an actual prompt. But the question that I want you to ponder as you're watching this live is, whose lives are impacted by your body shame currently? So assuming that you have some body shame, and maybe some of you out there don't, but the majority of us often have some body shame somewhere hanging out. Who else is impacted by that? I know for me, I have a young son, which I could talk about, but my body shame, it really impacted my role as a leader for a very long time. My comfort level in empowering young women, particularly teenage girls, when I run a program for teenage girls to build confidence, I felt like an imposter because I had some shame, and therefore I wouldn't really show up as the fullest expression of myself to then give the gift of self-empowerment to these other girls, to these young girls. So that was how it impacted other people. My own shame, my own thoughts about my body impacted the girls that I was so wanting to influence. And I hear stories every day from women who are so afraid of passing on their body shame to their own daughters, right? It's such a real fear and shame. And so many moms will say to me, well, I mean, I don't ever talk about it in front of my daughter. I don't ever diet in front of her. I don't ever do any of these things in front of her. But I always say, she's watching you though. She's watching, right? And so they know. Teenage girls know. Just ask them. They know. They see their mom with, the way that, moms will often pull their kids in front of them to take a photo because they're hiding their shame. They're hiding their bodies. Moms who don't want to have their photos taken. And you don't have to be a mom of a girl to experience this. It could be that you're an auntie or you're an educator or, whatever it is, but you are influencing the next generation of girls one way or another. And so really thinking about how maybe they're impacted. Even if you have a boy, boys experience body shame all day long. We just don't recognize it and talk about it as much. But if they're having body shame modeled for them, they are going to learn and pick that up from the people who influence them the most, which is their parents. So really consider who else you are impacting with your body shame. But I also want you to consider the reverse of that, which is that when you practice radical self-love, you are now modeling that for the next generation, right? So that is what we want. We want our generation of women to be modeling for the next generation of everyone, all genders, what radical self-love looks like. Because who doesn't benefit from radical self-love, right? Regardless of your gender identity, but particularly for girls, right? Really seeing women step into their own and love themselves. We have a member in this group, her name is Josette, and she has a program called Become Your Own Soulmate. Imagine the impact that would have on the next generation if we were all learning to love ourselves as if we were our own soulmate, right? It's the most amazing, beautiful thing that I can think of. So that's the second prompt for you. Who is it impacting? And then the last thing that I'm going to leave you with for this challenge is the challenge is to post your picture of the body part you love. But the second part of the challenge is to really consider the media that you are consuming. The images that we see on a daily basis have such a profound impact on our paradigm, on what we believe is valuable and worthy. And it is a huge problem that in the media, women above the age of 27 are rarely represented. And even a lot of times they will have like older women being played by 27-year-olds. It's like, come on, right? There's a great sketch about that. I'll put that in the chat too. Hold on. By, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name now. Dreyfus. What's her name? Tell me. Dreyfus. Julianne Dreyfus? No. And, but anyway, and Amy Schumer's in it. It's fantastic. I'll drop it in there. But the point is that, the media makes a really big impression on how we feel about ourselves and our bodies by often projecting images that are not like us, and they're often unattainable, but yet so desirable. And the impact that has on our psyche is well established in the literature. It's quite damaging. So I highly encourage you to create media spaces for yourself that are empowering. One of the practices that I use is I have a Pinterest board. It's public. You can go see my Pinterest, Leah Pinelli, just search for me there. But I have a Pinterest board called Beauty Beyond 27, because 27 is the age in the media where you start to see women really drop off. And it is full of women with gray hair and wrinkles and all of the things. And they're gorgeous. And it's to remind my brain, my paradigm, that our value is not somehow, there's no correlation between our value and our age, or our value and what our bodies look like, right? Whether your boobies are small and perky or big and saggy, right? Because you had a bunch of babies and did a bunch of nursing. Like, it doesn't matter. That is not where our inherent value lies. So I really encourage you to notice when you're scrolling through Facebook, when you're scrolling through Instagram, when you're scrolling through Pinterest, or even the news, notice how you feel. And anytime you are scrolling and you don't feel great, unfollow that person, and then go actively build media boards like the one I just talked about on Pinterest. Actively follow women who are making you feel empowered and enlivened when you see their content and their work. So those are your challenges. You're going to post a body part that you love this holiday or this Valentine's Day this week. And I highly encourage you to do that media purge. And of course, the post about your first memory, body shame. My hope, my wish for all of you is that you take this experience and you really leverage this opportunity to up-level your feelings about your body so that you can start to love San Francisco as much as you love Hawaii, and allow the changes in your life, whether it's changes in the way that you're eating or changes in the way that you're moving, allowing those changes to come from a place of love and not from a place of shame. If you want to know more about the work I do with clients, you can always just shoot me a message or drop in the comments, learn more. And I would be happy to reach out and support you in your leveled up transformation. Okay, everybody, happy Valentine's Day.
You've been listening to The Life You Crave. I lost 30 pounds years ago without dieting, willpower, or deprivation. I'm on a mission to help other women, including you, do the same. You can book a free weight loss strategy session with me over at leahpinelli.com. That's LIAPINELLI.com. See you on our next call or on the next episode. And remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on iTunes.